Welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where Lana and Logan bring conversations so vast. They're the hosts of the podcast so divine. With sass and style, they're gonna shine. Lana's the evil diva with flair for drama. Logan's to say something gay, however, comma. And David in his cute little drag shirts. They're the perfect mix of television experts. The Cup is the place where drag queens reign. Reality TV, wrestling, and Eurovision game. With Lana and Logan leading the way. Every episode is a fabulous display.
What a new, fun, beautiful, and fantastic way to open the pod today.
Yeah.
We're doing something a little bit different because we wanted to. Quite frankly, because we wanted to. But yes, hello. They already did the intro for us. We don't need to do the intro.
You know who we are.
You know what you did miss, David, in making this song for us, which I do greatly appreciate, David, for doing all this for us. You know what you did miss, though? The cup mug.
Oh.
There is no cup mug mention.
But that's okay.
Version 2.0.
I'll do. Let's do the whole intro. It would feel wrong if we didn't. Hello, hola, y bienvenidos a The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. As the song said, I say something gay, however, comma. I think I'm gonna add that. I think that feels right. I am drinking the remnants of a vodka soda I made because we've been talking for a while before we started filming. This was Phil. It's not anymore.
We had catching up to do.
We had catching up to do because, as you all have noticed and made sure we noticed in the comments, it's been a minute since we've all been together. But I'm
Since the premiere episode of Solo Las Mas.
Literally. But yeah, that's all. But you could get your merch at a place, and Lana might tell us where, as she looks for her remote, because I know exactly what she's looking for. I know you so well at this point.
By
Lana,
the way,
okay.
My favorite thing from the past month is listening to a podcast Lana did by herself, and she had her cup mug, and she's like, panel full of cup mugs.
Panel full of cup mugs. I mean, it literally was a panel full of cup mugs, and it was just me.
Is that Deal or No Deal Island?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that tracks.
It was Deal or No Deal Island, and I was like, it's just me, but I'm still a panel full of cup mugs.
You know, honestly, where's the lie?
There's no lie. The truth.
No lies detected today.
Period. Hey, y'all. It is me, Lana, your resident evil diva. Y'all heard it. Y'all know who I am. I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I'll do some tea. Yay. And you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. We do ship to the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So you can get your cup. There are no excuses. Internationally, still a little excuse, but that's okay. We're working on it.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but as the song said, I do have a cute drag shirt. And so I decided to wear one of my favorite Down Under queens, Miss Hollywood star.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Lovely.
But I'm just drinking some water, unopened. So I'm excited to open. Actually, maybe it is opened. No, it's not. But yeah, that's it.
Does it matter if it's opened or not? Because you just leave the same water bottle. You leave the same water bottle for about 3 days.
It's unopened.
But we are finally back together.
It seems like a minute. It seems like
none of us are traveling. None of us have busy work things on this current occasion. Is this recording several hours later than we had planned on doing it originally? Yes. But we are here. I'm thrilled for what we found out to be the semifinals.
That was a ball.
Last month.
I was like, wait, what?
This season feels like a fever dream.
It really does. I don't know what's happening.
every episode I'm like, I don't know what I don't know what to expect. I'm just excited to sit down and watch. And that's not something I get from Drag Race a whole lot anymore. So I'm always so intrigued to watch, especially Solo Las Mas, because I'm like, I don't know what to expect, but cool. I don't know.
It was fun to watch. It was interesting. It was shocking. It was like,
Gay shock.
so this is what we're doing.
Gay shock.
Gay shock, trans shock,
Hetero shock.
Hetero shock.
It was
straight shock.
great shock. Just everybody was shocked. And
White man shock.
I was like,
cute little drag shirt shock. All of it.
All of it. Even shock, like,
Eerily realistic goat shock.
I am truly okay. I'm gonna do the rest of the intro and then I need to talk about it. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we're here almost all the time, giving you almost all things drag, with 2 fabulous brand new seasons of Drag Race coming very, very soon. So we're very excited about that. I hate you, Lana. I hate you so much. I'm just trying to get through this so we can all watch it. Thank you. We've got 3 other channels as well. Make sure to go check all those out in the description below. And make sure to join our membership channel for exclusive content and early access. This is a disaster podcast already. I'm so happy.
You should have seen us talking about eerily realistic.
Oh, I did. Oh, I watched. You can also join our Patreon. Same content, different platform. That link is down in the description as well. Eerily realistic goat sounds is the single best thing that I have ever read on a subtitle for a drag program in my entire life.
I should not still be laughing like this at that. I should
No.
I
blindsided you with that one. I'm sorry.
Oh God! Last week I was.
Oh
man!
I think we were.
I'm
both
surprised
crying.
you didn't pull the eerily realistic goat sounds as a sound clip, David.
Oh,
I should have.
I was expecting that for this episode.
Oh my God,
honestly,
that was the craziest thing. I've laughed so hard at that, and now I'm still laughing at it. Like I should have been over. I should have been like, "Yep, you're." It was so funny. That was the craziest thing I've ever read in my entire life, and yeah, it was amusing.
Eerily realistic goat sound.
Mm-hmm.
Never a phrase I think I will say ever again. But you know,
Oh please! The next time we see somebody do a goat drag look,
eerily realistic goat sounds, anyone?
Any reference of a goat is where I'm going. That's the first thing I'm thinking about.
Even like greatest of all time.
Right.
That show's coming.
I was thinking, very excited. When does that premiere? Soon.
Soon. Yeah. Very soon.
Great.
Excited.
Cool. Lovely. Wonderful. 10 out of 10.
Oh man.
But yes, so we come back in. Everyone's putting up their stars. The whole first part of the episode, I'm gonna be honest, I was confused. It's like, what's happening? It's the semifinals. Aviesk is getting emotional because apparently this is the last time we get to see Aviesk on the show. I was like, what's happening?
We were like, there's 7 spots, so we expected 7 episodes before the.
So I'm assuming next week is a reunion.
That's what I'm assuming too.
I'm assuming
because they did that last for season 6. So
yeah. I mean, it gives us a week off, so I'm honestly not that
Right.
mad.
I'm okay with that.
We will have a week off of not making drag content.
None.
We will have a week off.
None.
David,
that's
I understand, David, that you are so sad, but you also need to recognize with the amount of podcasting Lana and I do collectively, I am so thrilled to not have to worry about this channel, especially because Eurovision is in 2 weeks. I am so happy that I won't have to. We love you all also, by the way. Drag fans, La Mas fans, we love you and we appreciate your support always. I'm so thrilled to not be talking about drag for a week.
Yeah, 1 week.
Thrilled.
Just 1 week.
1 week. All I need is 1 week.
Yep.
And then I'm good. And hell, if the reunion is good, we might be here to talk about I don't know. With
Well,
this
we
group,
can talk about the drag, the looks.
you know. So we might be here next week.
We might have a look over here at least. Who
we
knows?
might have 3 videos during finale week, if not next week. Because I think that talking about the reunion looks might be a cute thing to do. But we're still confused on how stars work at this point. We get clarification finally later. Thank you to our queen and our icon Marisol for finally giving us.
We knew we could count on her.
Yes,
We count on any of the other 5 hosts.
I am also going to say I understand that at this current point in my Lamas viewing, I have only watched season 6. This was my favorite episode of the season, and I honestly think most of that has to do with Marisol and Natal.
Mm-hmm. It was very nice to see them again.
It was so refreshing, and I've loved most of the hosts this season. I didn't get to talk about Maka last week. Love. Mostly because she fought with Lolita all episode. It was so entertaining. And as soon as I found out the full tea about like why they were fighting, I was like, oh, I understand why, they hate each other. Seemingly,
well,
maybe
some kind of beef. If it's not hate, it's just some animosity.
Yeah. And we're also coming off of an upsetting lip sync accident last week involving C-Pher. So this whole episode, I was very concerned. And I was like, so she has to win, or she's not a finalist. Like, I had that in my mind as soon as Avies said semifinals, I said, okay, C-Pher, I know the kind of drag you give. I'm worried, but I am the least worried out of anyone else in this potential scenario. I gotta be honest, but I was still worried.
Yeah, I wasn't extremely worried because if you've been keeping up, the first 5 episodes, C-Pher had my favorite look each of the 5 episodes. So I'm like,
what?
I'm like, surely C-Pher will have my favorite in this episode too? Who knows?
Oh, yes, you have to
we won't find out because you're not doing the second video.
I will let everybody know by the end of the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Or you could just do look over here. Anyway, we move.
So if David's here for look over here, then you know that we convinced him to stay up very, very late in the morning.
Let's keep it moving so we can get through with this.
Yes. So Avies comes in gorgeous. We should have been talking about Avies' looks in Look Over Here this entire season, by the way. Upon reflection.
You know what we'll do? We'll save Avies for the last Look Over Here, and we'll do a collage of all her looks over here.
That would be fabulous. I love that idea. Yeah. Please remind me to do that.
I'll write it down.
Thank you. Potentially in our reunion episode that we might do. I think that'd be cute.
Yeah,
a cute time
that'd be
to
cool.
do it. Maybe she'll have a reunion look.
Uh-oh.
Lana's playing the song again.
Our jam.
Don't make me hit the button again.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
But we find out, I was curious how they would do this because we know that Solo Las Mas was filmed literally, I think, 3 days after La Mas 6 finished wrapping. So I was like, are they going to pull a runway prompt from season 6 that none of these girls have seen before? No. And instead, we are doing La Muy Mas. Whatever the hell you want to do is the category on the runway this week.
Okay, I was annoyed.
Oh, you were annoyed? Why?
Not about the runway theme, but because this whole time I've been like, ooh, which season 6 runway theme do we get to see again?
Right.
And I've been looking forward to it because we had a lot of really good ones. Like even that first one, the La Mas Monumental, I was like, oh,
that's what I
probably.
I'm gonna look back really quick at the runway prompts. I think that's the one I would have wanted them to do.
I would have did either the Monumental or the paper one.
Yeah.
That would have been so. Monumental feels very good for this kind of episode too, because it is kind of the closing of it. I'm gonna say those for now, but I'm gonna look through the rest of the episodes because I don't remember.
What was the horror type of one they had?
Oh, the one
Catriona had like all the dead cats on her.
Could you imagine if they did the design challenge? Could you imagine?
Oh,
And then Sirena loses again on a design challenge.
Sick.
Because that's what took her out in season 4.
Sick.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that
she
either.
went out. The reason she went out so early on her original season, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be, is because of a design challenge. And we see now, had she not gone out on a design challenge, she might have done, pretty damn well on that season.
Mhm.
Or the floral, La Mas Floral. That would have been
that
really
was
good
a good
to do
one.
too. Yeah, that was a really good one. That was a great
Why
episode
is-
for me personally.
The
I
first
was
look
very
that
happy with that episode.
the first look that I think of from that was somebody who wasn't even in the competition anymore.
Ankh.
It's actually Braulio.
Oh
yeah.
Love that look
Braulio
from Braulio.
Yeah.
Or La Mas Nahual.
Yes,
But they
that was
kind
good.
of did something
True.
like that this season. So it
Yeah.
would have been,
It was similar to episode 1.
I don't think we needed Azul Peltre again. It was good, but I don't necessarily think I need it. La Mas Animada would have been interesting, but I don't think for a semifinal particularly. Divina Infantita could have been a good one too. That also feels, that was the religious one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we already had a
one this season.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want them to do Frida because they already did, the Pintada one. So I would say probably Monumental or Floral.
The paper, the floral,
Or Picada.
Monumental.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody here, those would be the 3.
we were robbed.
We were robbed.
And
But
here's my thought.
okay.
Also, naming the category the very most or muy
The very best.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I was expecting the biggest, most extreme, greatest looks of the season. And I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
I think you're looking at this with too harsh of a lens. I'm going to be honest, because the way that Aviesk explained it specifically was either kind of where your drag is at now.
It's evolution.
It could be like an evolution situation. It could be, redeeming a past look from it. I like that
a lot of people took it.
I like that they kept it open-minded also because Velveteen was here. Velveteen doesn't have any, mind you, she did something from her season 2 audition. And that was her look. But I like that they kept it more open-minded in that regard. And I love La Mas and I love the format of La Mas, but I also really appreciate when a queen is just able to do whatever comes to her as far as what she wants to present as her very best. And so in that regard, I understand what you're saying for sure, David. These were not the biggest, most extravagant looks, but I think these are the looks that felt the most like each individual queen that we've seen this season.
Yeah, I could see that. I think
I
season
get what
6 girls would have mopped the floor with them.
Well, upon reflection, I kind of think season 6 is a little bit better than Solo the Smash.
It is.
I gotta be honest. Like, I've loved this season. I've really enjoyed this season, but
oh my god, they would have ate them up. Like, if you could imagine, oh my god,
Juana, Electra,
Catriona,
Ariel, Demetra,
Catriona, because David continues to. I know. Thank you, Lana. I appreciate you, but David keeps erasing Catriona because he doesn't like her.
I like her, and I just said her name, didn't I?
No.
I said Demetra, Catriona.
No, you didn't.
You didn't say that.
You said everyone else in the top 7 except for Catriona.
I did not say what's her face.
Yeah, because you don't like Kylie's, okay?
No. The one that I always was like, her personality's not there.
Start with a P.
Borga?
I keep wanting to. No, not her. See, you all forgot her too.
Oh, no, I didn't forget Borga. That's why
you all forgot who I'm talking about.
Chantal.
Huh?
Chantal.
Yes.
Okay. She was 8th.
That's who I forgot.
Yeah,
I said top 7, so.
Nobody really.
Was she 8th?
I don't remember the order of anybody.
Oh, I thought she was top 7.
Demetra was 7th. Demetra was 7th, and then Kelly and we didn't say Kelly. That's the one.
Kelly.
Kelly and Kylie's were tied for 5th.
You're right.
So
okay.
I know. This is why our podcasts don't.
Anyway, we move because y'all talk too much and y'all keep going get deep
You
into
were just as much into this, Lana.
Who brought this stuff up? Not me.
I did because I'm hosting.
Here we go.
And David.
We move. And I'm about to say I didn't. We moved because we get
Let's
into
move.
the mixed lounge
Let's
and
move
they
to the-
start arguing.
I was gonna say this Nick's lounge was all over the place because they just start arguing out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they all start crying.
She's like
what is happening?
Shut up! Oh, you doing too much. You talk too much. I want to hear you. You doing too much. You doing too much. You doing too much. And it was like, but my outfit, it reminds me of when I did such and such. Wait, I'm gonna cry. And I was like, how did we get here? How do we go from you talk too much, you doing too much? I'm
gonna be honest. I don't remember what the fight was about.
It was. I remember. It was. Velveteen was fighting with
Soto and with Cedera.
And they were going up. Georgie was like, you talking too much, And Velveteen was like, I just want to get my point across because Velveteen wanted to say her point. She's like, you talk too much. You always say too much. And she said, well, y'all all get to talk. Let me talk. And so then you had Guajardo. She was just like, you guys. She would crack a joke in the middle of it and do something. And then they go back to arguing and go back to arguing.
And we get a little bit of dun 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 dun.
MP3 is what we got. Why was it called Boneless MP3?
Because the song is delirious parentheses boneless. I'm like, why are they leaving out the delirious?
Boneless MP3 is what we got as caption.
What we got as our caption, and I loved every moment of it.
I was like,
drink every time they play boneless.mp3 because I'm just like,
why do they keep doing this?
I don't know. It seems like a thing. It seems like a traditional thing.
It was an old song that they did.
It's a song that was a hit in America like 10 years ago.
Well, that's what they're talking about is that they're bringing nostalgia or vintage something. They were making a joke 10 about
years ago
it being
nostalgia.
Old.
Yes.
Okay, I'm aware. I agree with you. However, I'm saying what they said.
I also understand that and the fact that they were just like, it broke the tension. It kind of broke the tension every time somebody says something.
Well, that's what we'll have to do when we have fights.
David, I might need it as a soundbite.
I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do it every time you and David
start. It's going to be them singing it, not the actual
song. Absolutely.
Was the AI version?
No, it has to be them singing it, not the original.
Yes.
So it's the Queen's going. I love it. I wonder if that's a song that's played as a pump up song in at drag shows in Mexico. I'm curious. That's kind of the vibe it's giving me. I've heard it at a drag show here, so
Mm-hmm.
they used to play it at the clubs all the time when I would go out.
They still do here.
Young whippersnapper.
Back in my day. I can't relate. I'm very young.
You're not that young, baby. You're finna hit
not
30.
Anymore.
I'm about to say you closer to 30 than you are 20.
I'm about to hit my late 20s.
Yes.
Late 20s.
Anyway, we love. And they fought. Yep. They cried. They fought. They cried. And then
they get into some very emotional moments.
Very deep.
Very deep. Several high trigger warning, because I gotta be honest, because I wish they had one in the episode, if I'm being honest with you. There were several mentions of attempted suicide. And I, as someone with experience on several facets in that regard, I was like, oh shit. And I literally paused the episode and had to physically remove myself for a second and then came back and watched the episode because I was like, ooh, I wish there was a trigger warning. That would have been a nice thing to have, but I get it. I guess not really. I don't get it. Several suicide mentions, talking about death in general was kind of the overarching theme of a lot of people's conversations.
A lot of unalivings and
And then Velveteen talking about her season 2 audition. And this broke my heart. I got to be honest. We've gotten a lot of like crying Velveteen this season. And I still love Velveteen. I'm so happy she was here. But this whole moment of like being in a club, watching the auditions for this season and hearing the applause decrease as the performance went on, like that's gotta be so rough. And I was just like, oh God, like I felt bad.
Yeah, it sounded like her health like significantly deteriorated after that, and she was in a wheelchair and in the hospital. And what really got me in this moment with her talking about that
With sorrow.
was sorrow, just genuine tears. And it just
and they're family, but they don't get along anymore.
Yeah,
or they haven't for the season.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, is that the fact that like was able to break through despite all the tension they've had this season. That was like, wow, that really hit me hard. So
I'm like tearing up right now thinking about it again. Like, ooh. And then Sirena talking about losing someone very close to her and how her runway is dedicated to them. She's crying. Georgie talks about, you know, the pressures of Lamas and, you know, the career that she's built for herself, and talking about unaliving herself at certain points too. And it's, you know, very deep stuff. And then C-Pher we get a really gorgeous conversation from C-Pher about being from Chile and not being accepted at all there, and moving to Mexico and really finding, you know, a big community, and hell, starting a drag house. Like I have no experience in that, and I fundamentally believe that that's probably a full-time job on top of everything else you're doing. I think I got all the stories. I don't remember.
Just Madison talking about how she was emotional because this was going to be like her look kind of as her true self, and how she got so emotional when she first saw it.
As Madison, the woman she is now, and like being herself fully. I love this show. I really love this show. Lily does too. That was a perfectly timed meow. Very impressed. With that being said, I think we could just move to the runway. But first, Marisol is back. Yay.
And she looks good.
She looks good.
She looks great. She looks great.
Yes.
Lana's like, we got to move it along.
I was going to get into my thoughts more and look over here.
That is the plan. But I want to talk about her hosting, because obviously we have the most experience with her hosting, because the only full season we've watched other than this is season 6. If you didn't catch that already. But I have to be honest, seeing all 6 of the hosts throughout this season, none of them were bad. I'm excited to go back and see the old seasons with all of the other hosts. This might be biased. I think she's my second favorite.
It's close for me. She's very close to number 1.
She's very close to number 1 for me as well.
I have a pretty clear top 3, and then a pretty clear 4.
Vanessa,
pretty clear 5.
Marisol, and Daddy Rowe.
Yes, those are my top 3 for sure.
Those are also my top 3.
Maka's not too far behind them.
No.
And then Lorena
and Carla are good, but like
Carla just was my last. She was Luminous.
But yeah. Lola in her best look of the season. I loved this. And I'll talk more about it later, but I love this. She felt very, for the most part, very calm and centered in her energy in this episode, which was a nice change of pace.
I have thoughts about her and why I felt she was calm and centered. I feel like she was put in her place, honestly. I feel like everybody was so excited and very happy about Latal being there.
Which
And
ay, mi amor,
I didn't even see that purse. I did
It was
not
on
notice
the
that
ground.
purse.
It was on the floor
ground,
next to her the whole time.
the whole time. Yep, on the
I
ground. So I'm like, is that a purse?
I just whatever these girls are getting from Latal, like hell, I'm getting the same thing, and like I see it. But yeah, continue your thought, Lana, because I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, I think with Latal being there and Latal being the expert that she is,
The mother of all of these queens.
the mother of all of these queens, she knew better not to say nothing crazy and stupid and out the way in front of Latal, because I feel like Latal would have quickly.
Ooh, I would have liked to see that.
I would have loved to see it, but I don't think Lola wanted to go there and test her gangster. I don't think Lola wanted to test Latal's gangsters.
But let's talk about how Latal wasn't the one to clear Miss Lola in this episode.
No, because
it was Miss Marisol the moment. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
this is after the lip sync?
Yes, please don't let me skip this moment. Because, the way Marisol mothered is so hard. You know what? No, she is my favorite host. Of this season, at least, the 6 episodes we saw, she was my favorite. For that, mostly. I gotta be honest.
But yeah, Latal, and she looks amazing. Like, this is
incredible. And this is such a change. We'll get into it in Look Over Here. This is such a change from a lot of what we saw from Latal in season 6.
It was a lot of creature looks.
Yes.
It was a lot of creature. It was a lot of concept. It was very high concept, which is a lot of what Latal does. I loved seeing soft Latal
work.
I don't know that it's my favorite Latal, because I like a lot of the high concept stuff that she does. But I love every once in a while, I'm like, oh, soft Latal. If you don't follow her on Instagram, please do yourself a service and follow Latal on Instagram, because it's all just incredible. Like, remarkable. But our category, La Muy Mas. We're going to save most of our thoughts for Look Over Here, but we'll, talk briefly about the critiques, of which most of them were positive.
And this is going to be interesting because I watched this on Tuesday night, and when it got to this portion, the runway portion, or it was during the critique portion, the subtitles just completely went out for the entire critique. So I heard 0 critiques for any of the queens.
Well, you heard them, you just didn't know what they were saying.
Well, I actually ended up skipping past it because I'm like, this isn't working.
Well,
so I would skip like 30 seconds. Nope, still not working. Skip past. Nope, still not working.
And it was fixed by the time that Lana and I both watched it today. So
yes, lucky for both of you.
That's
also,
why I waited. Honestly, that's why I waited, because I was like, I want to make sure that the subtitle situation is cleared.
They also went out at the very end of the episode, like probably the last 2 minutes. I have no idea what anybody was saying.
Top 4, woo! That's all you missed.
Right.
And that's what you missed on Glee, like, honestly. But yes. First up, Georgie. What I loved, again, about having Latal, not to talk about Latal for this whole episode, but to talk about Latal for the whole episode. What I loved is it felt very the way that Latal, Jari, and Raquel had their kind of critiques on season 6, where it was very segmented. And that's kind of what I've missed. Latal really only talked about makeup with all of the girls. It was an overall, like, you look phenomenal. But the overarching critique that Latal gave was always about the makeup and what to do differently. And it wasn't even really that many, changes to makeup. It was a lot of, here's this one, like for Georgie, it was like, put a little bit of pink on the outside of the eye.
Right.
I was like, I love that.
I love that.
I love this. I love this look.
And Lola was more like, this is something I would like. This is something I would wear.
Lola was like, I want this dress.
I want this dress. And so it was, the judges actually really liked this look. And like you said, Latal was just like, here's a little piece of a tip that Latal always does.
Here's a
Here's
tip.
tip
Yeah.
to make it better. And it
felt
was
so familiar, and I was like, oh, I
good
love this
advice.
so much.
But yeah, that was the critiques from the judges for this look.
Okay.
It feels strange for us to talk about the critiques as opposed to David.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
But yeah.
this is very fascinating because I was like, oh, I have no idea what anybody thinks about anything.
I love that so much. But yeah, Georgie looks gorgy. Gorgeous like Georgie. Yes, that's the wrong season. We'll get there soon. Wahardo. Drama. Men. Drama.
Yeah.
That's what I've gotten from Wahardo's drag this whole season. And honestly, I'm not mad.
Yeah, Latal was just like, first, where's your eyes? The bangs covering your eyes. So the bangs was like literally covering her face. Like, but like the makeup. They liked the makeup, but also gave her a tip on what she could do to soften a little bit.
Because it was harsh, baby.
It was harsh. Very harsh. But I think she was going for the drama along with the gown. And so she's got to take it hard.
The perception I got was like mother of the telenovela.
Yeah.
But like evil mother of the telenovela.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the child. What did Lola? I think Lola loved the drama.
Lola loved the drama.
This seems very Lola coded, to be honest.
Yes, it's very much theatrical and everything.
I figured out what Lola doesn't like in drag, and we'll talk about it here shortly. But honestly, and most of Lola's critiques were, "You look gorgeous."
Yep.
Like that's honest. This was the episode that I'm glad the subtitles went out on you, David, because honestly, it was the most tame critique session we've had all season. And
I'm honestly interested in seeing if your critiques match up with the judges' critiques, since you had no idea what they said. So that's cute. But yeah, that was it. She loved the drama of it all. She thought she looked beautiful.
Gorge. Sort of nasty.
I'm very curious what they have to say about her.
Very. Lital was kind of like, oh my god, the mug. And talked about the improvement in sort of mug since her original season. It seems like, hi, comments, let us know. It seems like Soto and Lital might have the most relationship out of any of the queens. I don't know if you would agree with that, Lana, but that's kind of, it felt more contemporary to contemporary as opposed to judge to queen.
Yeah. It felt like they had
more Soto and Velveteen more than anybody else. It felt that way for me. So
I forgot what Lola said about this look, honestly.
Probably something along the lines of gorgeous, stunning, gorgeous. I don't remember.
The reason I'm curious about what they had to say about her is because I fully expected her to get a star.
Oh. Okay.
I did.
I mean,
I think that gives away my opinion about this look.
Right.
I mean, a little bit. Not that you need to fully hide your opinion. I think this is a really good look. I think this is also a very strong runway overall, where a lot of people had very, my scores are probably going to be sandwiched in the 90s. That's probably where most of my scores are going to be. So, but I do enjoy this garment on Soda Nasty. Now, here's where we get old Lola back, because Velveteen pops up and she goes, so you look like a Nana.
Nanny.
What?
Nanny. And then, so immediately Velveteen grabs a microphone and is like, I'm a bunny. And she goes, okay, are you a bunny nanny? Or are you a nanny that's a bunny? I got so mad again. I was like, Lola, you can't give me one episode where I'm not mad at you.
She was like, you are a nanny. And so Velveteen was like, but I'm a bunny. And she was like, but you're a bunny. Looks like the nanny. And I'm talking about
leave Velveteen alone.
I've never seen a nanny look like this.
Never seen a nanny. How about the dress looked like a nanny dress?
And
I
she
was
would
like,
go, I think the way she was trying to say it, and I don't think she said it in the most coherent way, I'm going to be honest, was I think she was like, this feels more Victorian because it does.
It looks like,
Mhm.
for me, it looks like a dragged up version of Peter Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. Like,
I love that.
you
I
know
love
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah, I do.
Like,
Absolutely.
it's just it's Alice in Wonderland. The rabbit meets the Queen of Hearts. You know, kind of
Mhm.
thing. I feel like she was just going for a fantasy rabbit and bunny or whatever, and I was like, it's not a nanny. Like,
No.
what are you talking about?
Latal
Like,
was very complimentary.
yes.
I'm happy about that.
Good.
And yet, I liked how Latal. I'm sorry, I'll cut you off, but I liked
Yeah,
how
that's fine.
Latal was like, and this child, I don't know.
She was like, I've birthed all of these with my 11 chi-chis.
But I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You have not come out of the womb. I don't know you. But I know you now, Velveteen. I know you now. And I was like, thank God Velveteen got some kind of praise.
Something good. Something good from this.
God, they have been on Velveteen's neck this entire season. I'm like, let her breathe.
And sometimes it was deserved, and sometimes it's not deserved. This is coming from a Velveteen fan. Like,
it was interesting. But yeah,
the number of times also that Latal specifically referenced her 11 nipples.
Yes.
And I'm curious where all of them are.
Baby.
So Latal, if you're watching, Latal, let us know. I am intrigued. So, but I was like, thank God Latal said something positive because, like, this baby needed it. I wish Lola had gone first and then Latal, if I'm being honest, but anyway. Rudy. I'm going to save my thoughts for look over here.
Absolutely. But the judges enjoyed it a lot.
Ate her up.
They loved it. They were like,
you could tell the moment they popped back for the lip sync later. Yeah. I knew the exact reason why Lola was pissed.
Yeah.
I knew the whole reason. I knew the exact reason because Lola is biased towards Rudy Reyes. And I feel confident enough to say that now, having watched a whole season. And I think Rudy is a very talented individual.
Yep.
That's what I'll say on the matter.
But they loved this look. The judges loved this look. They thought she ate it up. They loved it. They loved the presentation of it. So.
Yeah, that's about it.
She probably more than anybody else, like, really goes into the way she's going to present her look. So I do appreciate that about Rudy.
Does she?
Yeah, she always has a big presentation, and it usually goes a little bit longer than we want it to. But there's a big theme to it and a performance to it.
It's not always the most polished.
Right, exactly.
That's my problem with this.
We'll talk about it later.
We sure will.
We'll talk about polished later because I have thoughts.
I do too. Mm-hmm. But first we have to talk about Madison, who...
Madison. Again, judges loved it.
Oh, it was so beautiful. Latal had a whole moment with Madison, talking about like the woman that she's become, and like it was very emotional for both Latal and Madison. Like they both had like a very lovely moment. I thought that was lovely. Lola was so complimentary to Madison, and I was so thrilled about that.
I mean, Latal had nothing to say about her makeup. He was like, the mug is mugging. It's beautiful.
Would you have anything to say about her makeup? Because I sure don't.
Great.
I sure don't.
And so, yeah, it was nothing but compliments coming from the judges, which I could agree with.
Fair.
I have thoughts later. Shocker. Sirena. Which some people here didn't realize that there was a wedding dress. Yes, I'm calling you out, Lana. No, don't pull out Wahardo now with your bangs, Lana.
Could we
I
let,
think you need to cut them like just a half inch.
could
Just a
we
half
let
inch,
off-
Lana.
Could we let off air things stay off air?
No. No.
Jesus. All right. You asked for it.
I did.
But yes, she was him on the wedding dress.
Yep.
And she was Ariel. She was Ariel in her at the wedding. And then she stripped off that wedding dress and she was Ursula underneath.
In the world's slowest reveal.
Yes.
In the world's slowest reveal, which was Lola's whole critique for season.
Okay.
Was just the fact that the reveal wasn't executed.
It was
as
sloppy.
well as it could have. It was very sloppy.
Sloppy. That's what they were like. It was sloppy. But Latal was like, but you look gorgeous. Even though the sloppy reveal and the slow sloppy reveal. But the crown, we even had a crown reveal, and I was like, okay, that's cute. It just
Well, it was more so all the boys putting
all the
things
boys
on her, and they fucked up. Sirena didn't
What
do
is
anything.
wrong with Venanito? Does he have like depth perception issues?
Genuinely, I think these three men are very attractive individuals. I need a whole new group for next season. I'm gonna
Right.
be genuine.
Toxic.
I need a whole
stay.
No, because he fucked up this episode too.
We just need some new fresh blood who is more in tune with what's happening, and they could be a part of the show. Like I need performers.
I need go-go's who have drag experience.
Maybe.
Like I need go-go's who have experience working with drag queens very closely. That's what I need.
Venanito literally almost stabbed her in the eyes with
Absolutely.
And that's why Sirena took it. Like, more than anything, honestly, Venanito seems like a lovely, beautiful man. And he is a beautiful man because I follow him on Twitter. But I don't need him on this show anymore, unfortunately.
No.
But like Sirena didn't do anything wrong with the reveal. It was literally the boys.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about Sirena finally getting to do her Latal impression. Loved it. Big fan. It was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And this is where the subtitles came back.
Oh, good. Yay. Yeah.
David. So that moment with Latal and Serena, well, I mean, was this the moment where Latal just had a moment of
Yes, but first we have to
Or
also
different.
acknowledge C-Pher was on the runway.
Well, I thought that happened during this point, but
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry. No, that happened.
No,
at the end.
we
Never mind.
had the
You're right.
emotional moment and then the other emotional moment and then
Right.
the other emotional moment.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You're right.
But yes, C-Pher was also on the runway.
Yes, we got no
But-
critiques.
No
No
critiques,
feedback.
but there were
But-
acknowledgments. There were
Yeah.
acknowledgments from both judges, and I loved this. Latal acknowledging C-Pher and their art. It was more from Lola, which I loved hearing from Lola, because her father fled Chile in a similar, same but different sort of way that C-Pher did. And so like she was talking about how she was very like raised in similar communities to what C-Pher experienced and like understands by proxy kind of the weight that leaving Chile and coming to Mexico and kind of building her career in Mexico has on C-Pher. It was a gorgeous emotional moment.
Yes.
And I loved this moment.
Mhm.
Beautiful moment.
Unfortunately, she didn't get critiqued, but honestly, I think it's fine given the results of later. So, but then yes, this is where Sirena does her impression, gives the tribute to Latal. Latal very openly talks about, losing her mom and her grandma at the same time.
Right.
I could only imagine.
That's crazy.
I like seeing the vulnerability even in the people that are, the judging people on these shows. Like when we get a Rue moment where Rue breaks and kind of cries and has an emotional moment, I always love seeing that. This just endeared me to Latal even more than I already was, honestly. This was a gorgeous moment.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
Wonderful. Well, we have some results.
It is true.
And it's true. She is my favorite one to do this also. Across all 6 of us, her and Maka. I really liked Maka. Where Maka just wouldn't stop talking the whole time. I loved it. But we find out that La Muy Mas receiving a gold star. And now being back into the competition is C-Pher.
Yay!
Yay!
Deserved.
Absolutely deserved.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know that C-Pher necessarily will have my favorite look. C-Pher has one of my favorite looks. And I was thrilled that C-Pher got the gold star here so that she could be a finalist for this show. I'll say that much. I was not mad at this outcome. I was very thrilled with this outcome. If it meant that C-Pher could actually be a finalist. Yep. You know what I mean?
I'll go ahead and reveal 6 for 6.
I'm really not surprised.
Favorite look.
I'm not surprised.
Every episode she had my favorite look.
I'm not surprised in the slightest. So.
Loved it.
Purr. We do also get our Casi Muy Mas, which goes to Rudy. Now, this is the one I didn't agree with personally.
Nope.
No. Should have went to Madison.
I actually don't think it should have gone to Madison.
I don't either.
I think it could have, and I wouldn't have been mad.
Madison wasn't in my top half, and neither was Rudy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I said, my scores are going to be sandwiched together, so I can't specifically speak on that. I would have given it to Georgie.
Definitely not in my top half.
Really? I love Georgie.
Georgie was my least favorite.
I probably gave it to Wahardo, to be honest.
Wahardo was one of them. So for me, I'm just going to say it since I'm not going to do look over here. But C-Pher, Soro, and then very close between Wahardo and Velveteen for me.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. I love that.
Those are my top 4.
I love that. None of us had Rudy. But like good for Rudy. Very, very lovely for Rudy.
Yeah. I like Rudy. Hey, and plus I was like, oh, that's good for my draft team.
Well, is it really? Who knows what really is going on with this draft team situation? I think all the scores need to be thrown out and we just introduce the scores that they had on the show.
Might as well.
I'm still losing in that case, but you know. Thanks, Velveteen. But and also, fun fact, even if what happens later in this episode didn't happen, Rudy still would not have made top 4.
Yeah, that does not surprise me.
No. And I think it's deserved personally. But we'll talk about it.
I mean, the only way that she still might have is if somebody else had been picked to lip sync.
Lip sync.
Well, yeah, and that too. Or somebody else was picked to.
Because I think even with if we'll talk about it when we get to the lip sync scenarios. We vote. It's a very emotional vote. I fundamentally believe in my heart of hearts, several people voted for themselves.
You think?
I think.
Oh, because of the opportunity to potentially get a...
Yeah. I think, to get the gold star opportunity. I think Velveteen absolutely voted for herself based on her confessional that she gave, just being like, everyone else got positive critiques. The only other person I think she could have voted for in that moment was Sirena. Because she's the only other person that got a negative critique. Now, in this moment, would you all have voted for yourselves in order to get the potential of getting a gold star?
No. I would vote for the worst lip syncer in case I had to go lip sync against them.
You know, you're right. So you would have voted for Velveteen.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But that's not what happens. The group chooses Sirena, which does not surprise me. Because I think several people just said, I don't want Velveteen to cry again, so I'm not voting for Velveteen.
And then we get cut to Velveteen.
Could you imagine if Velveteen had gotten 2 more black stars? and she would have been at -5.
Ooh.
Like, don't do that to the girl. You don't need to do that to the girl. Like,
I just thought it was shady editing. Like, I don't want to see Velveteen cry anymore. Like,
literally.
okay.
Literally. So Sedena was chosen by the group, and because C-Pher won this week's runway, she then gets to pick who lip syncs. This happens before the Purgatory. She picks who, or does it? I don't remember.
After the vote?
It's after the
It's
vote.
after the vote. I'm on
Yes.
track. It's after the vote. C-Pher gets the choice on whether she wants to lip sync or she wants to choose someone else. And obviously, she's not going to lip sync.
I was scared for a second, though. I was like,
You
wait.
thought she was going to lip sync?
The way she started to word it, she's like, I know that people expect me to do something, but I'm not going to necessarily
Well,
do something.
I think people expected her to pick Velveteen.
Oh, I thought people
was for
expected her to
Soro.
pick Soro.
Oh,
because of
well,
last
yeah, that
week.
too.
Yeah. And I thought like this was her way of like, I'm not going to pick Soro. I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And I would have been
No.
so mad if she did that.
No, she picks Rudy. And I love this strategic moment from
I do
C-Pher.
too. She said, C-Pher sat there was like, people think I'm not, like I'm dumb, that I don't see what's going on. And I see what's happening with these clicks. And what I'm going to do is, since you already got Sedena, I'm going to make you go against your friend. Because this is what I need to get rid of. I need one of y'all to go.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Rudy, get on over here. And I was like, you
And
better work. You better play this game. You better play this game because baby, they were
It's
coming
Lama's
for your
social
neck.
strategy race. Like,
They were
I
coming
love
for
it.
her. They were coming for her. So like, let me make sure I get somebody who I'm gonna come for
Absolutely.
them. Or you come for me.
the main reason I was happy she chose Rudy was because I was like, oh, okay, we're going to get a good lip sync because I've been hearing all this time that Rudy is a lip sync assassin and she's a very strong lip singer. And we've seen moments where she was very strong too. And I knew
excited to
Serena
see
was
her
good
on her
too.
original season too.
Yeah. And we knew both of these are good lip syncers. So I was like,
And they
either
gave
way, it's
them
going to be a show.
And they gave them such a good song. ¿A quién le importa? Which also, where the fuck was this for La Mastalia? I got mad. The moment this song came on, I was like, so they did pay for Thalia. I'm thankful they saved it for this occasion. I got to be honest, on hindsight. But this lip sync was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I much rather preferred the second lip sync, honestly.
The second lip sync? Oh, the one
Yes.
with Guajardo and
No. Did you miss the second lip sync, David?
Oh.
I'm about to say David.
The tiebreaker lip sync?
I thought you meant the second lip sync of the season.
Of the season.
No, the second lip sync of this episode.
No, I didn't miss that.
Oh.
No, I really liked this. I thought it was a fun show, and they both were going hard. I was surprised because I was like, I feel like Serena's giving more of the like face and the emotion behind the song, and Rudy's giving more of the tricks. But I did think Serena won.
It's very clear that this was not a unanimous decision amongst our judges and host. Because the moment we popped back, the way icon mother Marisol is sitting there and was like, this was a great lip sync. No. C.
No.
C. Cleared. I was like, better.
And then she had
so
nothing else to say.
The winner of this lip sync. And Lola just sat there. She sat there in her turned position, just everything to me. Everything to me. I was like, you better, mother. So hard, Marisol. Loved it. But she announces that the winner of the lip sync is Sirena. Agreed.
Oh. Guess I shouldn't have been so excited, but I am.
Well, here
You just can't hide it.
I'll switch back to this one so we can be happy. Yay, Sirena! Yay!
Love her.
And that means that Rudy gets 2 black stars. And I said, oh God, not 2.
Let me you go, girl. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh.
I still didn't know what the stars meant. So I was like, let me see.
Yeah, I was like, we still don't know what these stars mean, but two black stars can't be good.
Can't be good.
But
then they call everybody out.
And then we find out what the fuck these stars mean.
These stars meant.
Y'all could have explained this in the first episode. Y'all could have had Lorena explain this. Did she just not want to explain it?
Even if it's not to the girls, but to the audience. Like, the audience should have known what these stars meant. I would love to have.
I would have loved that, personally. I would have loved that.
Yeah, but they go on talking about these stars.
Yes. So we find out that a gold star is worth 6 points. A lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
A pink star is worth 3 points. And a black star is worth -2 points. So, based on scores, our top queen of the season, obviously, is
obviously
deserve.
You know what? Hold on.
Deserve. Absolutely deserve.
And now with her newly added gold star, second place, also is now it would have been so interesting if Sirena had not been the one to lip sync, because then we would have had a 3-way tiebreaker lip sync.
Yep.
Because at this point, Sirena also had 12 points.
Yep.
It would have been very interesting. I don't know how they would they just have not done the second lip sync, I'm assuming? And just said, all of you go to the final.
Maybe.
I don't know. Instead, we have a tie for third, which means we have a playoff style tiebreaker lip sync.
Yep.
And I was like, there are 3 people that I want in this lip sync. And as long as 2 of them make it, I'm fine. And 2 of them made it, and I was fine. And it's Georgie and Madison, both with 12 points. The only other person close to them in points is Soto. Soto had 10 points. But because of her black star in episode 4, because otherwise she also had 12 points.
So crazy.
Stupid. And if she had gotten the pink star in this episode, she would have made it.
I wonder how
should have gotten, but all right.
I wonder how things would have been if they didn't have all of the like random stars that people found or like earned in the mini challenges. And
I still think we end up with a similar outcome, actually.
I think Madison might not be in the top.
I think given the fact that Rudy would have then had 2 black stars, I actually think Madison drops out, and I think Soto replaces her. Because Madison had 2 pink stars and a gold star. Georgie had 2 gold stars.
Oh, so Georgie and Madison also, like they both.
So it would have been Soto in that third spot. It probably would have been the same thing had also same situation as if Soto had gotten the pink star in this episode. It would have been a playoff lip sync for that 4th spot, as opposed to.
But probably not with either of them, because they'd be down to 6 points.
Rudy would have had 2 at this point. So the rest of the results, Rudy ended with 2 points. Velveteen ended with -1, and Guajardo ended with -2. So no, I think we have the same scenario.
Okay, fair.
And somehow, despite all of this, Velveteen is not last. And that's truly what shocked me the most. I I felt bad for Wahardo. I was like, Wahardo has been very good this season. It's just that one episode she got a black star, and she really just was never La Mas. But she was always very good. And she's someone that I was very happy to see on this season. So, but we got our tiebreaker lip sync, Georgie and Madison. I also spelled her name wrong, and I'm just now realizing it.
Masray?
Masray.
Didn't notice it.
Madison Basre. They are lip syncing to Todos Me Miran, Gloria Trevi. I said, yes, give Madison. I said, yes, give Madison a ballad. Instantly, I was like, yes, give Madison a ballad. This might be my favorite lip sync of the season. If I'm being honest, like, it was so close. They were both giving the exact energy I wanted for Gloria Trevi. I just thought they both embodied the song so well in the way that they know the judges want it to, but both performances felt very individual. I loved it. I really did. I also love a ballad lip sync, so I'm always going to be a little biased towards a ballad.
I definitely need to rewatch this lip sync.
I think you should,
because something happened that kind of took me out of the lip sync the whole time. It happened probably about 30 seconds into it. Madison shoots off her cannon, which I'm like, oh, I love that. But then all this confetti rains down, and there's a blue piece of confetti right here in Madison's mouth the whole time. And the whole time I'm just looking at it. I'm like,
and she didn't let it falter her in the slightest.
I was like, is it going to fall out? Is she going to accidentally eat it?
No. I wish she had.
So literally my eyes,
she had.
I know, my eyes did not leave her mouth.
She's just there.
Entire. So I was like,
no, I would have loved her to do a full Arizona brandy with the contacts, just like boom.
She was just
hi.
there.
Like, I'm not going to let it bother me, baby. I love the fact that she left it on the whole time because it showed how, like, serious of an entertainer she is. She's like, oh, yeah, there's confetti in my mouth. I'm still going to serve you a
does she know that's there?
She had to have. If you had a giant paillette on your lip, you would
take it out. If I knew it was there, I would take it out.
I'm not going to let anything distract me from serving this performance right now in this moment.
Let it distract other people by seeing it there.
Okay, you are a very specific case, David Healy.
In the moment, I don't think she thought about it. I don't even know if she felt it. Like,
probably not.
She was in that moment, in that zone. I don't know if she felt it or not, because it's, a lot of times you will watch a lot of performers like a Janet, like a Beyonce, when they're on stage and they have their long hair whipping around and it whips right in their face and they have a piece just off right there, but they keep going until they get to a point where they can whip it around and then it goes out of their face. Like, you can't
hair whip. I'm so sorry. Lana, I'm gonna need another one from you. I'm so sorry. Great.
But yeah,
she whips her hair back and forth. She whips her hair. But like, also, I was gonna say on that point, also, Lana, like, you and I as performers, like, I've had things happen during a performance that, like, I didn't realize were happening until after I was like out of the moment. Like, I understood it for sure. I
don't know if she felt it. I mean, a piece of paper, you might go feel it.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but like, for me, honestly, you all seen the Austin Powers movie with Fred Savage?
The mole.
And the mole.
Yeah.
That was me. I was like, confetti, 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 confetti.
I mean, it happens. Some people just lock on to certain things. It might not distract you, but it might distract the other person.
Absolutely. And so I would implore you to go watch this lip sync.
Oh, again. I will. I definitely already go back and rewatch and score lip syncs. I haven't done that yet. So I will, and I will not hold it against her that she has.
Thank you very much. But yes, so we get our results, and Madison wins the lip sync. Yay!
Yeah, I was very pleased. I was like, "This is a good top 3."
Wait for it.
And
oh, we went to
and the and,
but then also Georgie. One more. Hold on. I personally am so happy it's a top 4.
I mean, I could do without it.
Yeah, I was fine with the top 3, honestly.
Me too.
Of just C-Pher, Cena, and Madison.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So y'all wanted me to lose the draft.
Oh, is
I wasn't even thinking about the
So
draft.
y'all wanted me to lose the draft.
Oh, I
mean,
forgot
if
you
you
didn't
were-
have Madison because
I
you
thought you
always
had
had
Oh, I don't have Madison.
I thought you had
One of
Madison. You want to be honest. I thought you had
Tony
Madison.
has Madison.
Oh,
No, I have Georgie.
Oh well, I mean, I wasn't even thinking about
With
the
how
draft.
much I've been standing Madison this whole season, you would think I had Madison on my team, but
You've
no.
already lost the draft, though.
I have to say you lost the draft regardless.
I would like it to be known that all 4 of us have one finalist each going into this final, and I'm going to say that anything is possible. I don't think I'm going to win, but anything is still possible.
Yeah, David's winning.
Probably.
Well, I don't know that.
It's very close.
I know
it's one
close.
of you two. It's one of you two.
Yeah, I
mean,
just feel like
think-
the finale is going.
I think
to be
we've
the moment.
learned that you cannot just assume anything with Lamont.
We absolutely cannot.
We
We
really
absolutely cannot.
But
I
I feel
remember
like,
how I felt in that finale last time.
Yes. Oh, I know.
how you
I was
feel.
there. How I felt when I said, "Oh my God, my favorite actually won."
I was like, wait, my girl ain't winning. What?
Literally.
The girl who been eating up this whole season ain't winning. What? Okay, I'm sorry.
But on the topic of this top 4, I'm personally very happy at the top 4. This is honestly based on how much I've appreciated the queens this season and their overall performance on the season. This would have been my top 4, with Soto Nasty as a very close 5th. Very, very close 5th for me. But I personally think this is a very well-rounded top 4. I think this is a top 4 that is very deserved based on the season, but I think a couple of other people could have been in there, and I also would have been very okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
agreed.
That's fair. I feel like there's only 2 contestants this season who have like fully captured me, and that's obviously C-Pher, but everybody else to a degree has had aspects where they're stronger and then aspects where they're weaker, including personality things. But for me, I guess my second one would have been Madison, just because she's so endearing and she's had really strong moments. Yeah. But everybody else, I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, it would be really hard for me to pick my other 2.
It's been a bumpy season overall. It's kind of the way that I feel coming out of these, like upon reflection on these 6 episodes that we've watched. It's been a really bumpy season. And I think a lot of that honestly has to do with the fact that just we didn't know what the format was going to be. They didn't know what the format was going to be. So it was difficult to like track necessarily how people were doing actually in the competition. And I feel like I ended up basing my favorites partially on how they're doing in the competition, but also partially on just like, do I connect with their aesthetic in a way more than other people in this season? And these are the 4 queens I have to say that I've connected to the most on this season. So
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't connect with a lot of these girls on the season. I didn't connect.
Same.
Like, I wasn't rooting against anybody.
Yeah.
But I wasn't specifically rooting for anybody. It was just like, I think the only person that I really connected to in a way where I was like, oh, I really just adore this person. It's C-Pher.
It's C-Pher. Yeah.
It's C-Pher.
Agreed.
And I don't know. I just it was something. Not saying that these girls were bad or anything. It was just that the personalities of them in the workroom, in the Knicks lounge, and then the runway performances and all of that just added up to me just not having that emotional connection like I had with those girls in season 6. Like in season 6, I was emotionally attached to these girls. I was involved. I was like, Addie's is my girl. Like, I feel her. Electra was my girl. I loved her. And it was like these emotional connections I had with them. I just didn't have it with these girls. And I don't know if it's because they've been there, done that. So the whole attitude is we've been here, done that. And we here to make good TV. And I don't even think they made good TV for me. Like, it wasn't even pleasantly good TV to watch. I was just like, it was good performances. It was good runways, but was it good TV? And so I just think it was more of the aspect of a little bit of jaded, a little bit of we've been here, we've done this, we're all stars, we're we know this, we do this, and it was kind of like, oh, okay.
I honestly, am thinking that, and I hate to say this because it's not about this queen herself, but I really think the Velveteen element being in the cast just really made it a weird
Ugly.
dynamic. Yeah, because everyone's
Yeah.
punching down the whole time, and
Yeah.
Velveteen was annoying at times too.
Mhm.
Yes.
So it's just if they had just a pure all-star cast, I think it would have worked better.
I also think on the flip side of that, because I do think I agree with you on that, David. I think if the other two secret contestants that were supposed to be on this season were also on the season, I think Velveteen slides right into the competition perfectly fine. Like, I think because she was the only one,
Yeah.
I think that's why it felt more like punching bag. Where, like, I don't think these girls would have done that to Pixie. I would have been gagged to see them do that to Pixie.
Oh,
Like, no, I don't.
They wouldn't have been able to say nothing to Pixie because see, this is the
Pixie would have
Pixie would have won this
competition for C-Pher.
I'm about to say, I'm looking at this, thinking about the themes of this season and how the difference of the themes were from Drag Race, and I think Pixie would have ate this up.
I don't know,
because it's not like acting challenges and things like that. Like, she didn't have to worry about acting challenges except the musical that they did.
But Drag Race unfortunately carries a certain name to everything, to where I understand why she made the decision she made. Absolutely, I think she could have won this season. Honestly, based on what we've seen now, I think she's a clear top 4. Unless shenanigans happened and they voted her in or something like that, which very well could have happened based on the fact that she would have been a secret contestant. But I don't know what Drag Race contracts necessarily look like. And I don't know if there's a non-compete clause now between Drag Race Mexico and La Mas. But I really would love to see Pixie get a shot at La Mas. Because
it's
I
more her
really
thing.
think it's so much more her thing. It is such a more look-based sort of competition. I agree with you completely, Lana. I think she would absolutely demolish any La Mas season she was on. Truly. I think the only thing that may give her a hiccup would be any sort of like musical situation, and then the final performance based on what we know of the final performances. So regardless, though, I've enjoyed this season. I think this is a lovely top 4 going into a finale in 2 weeks. Because it's live again, y'all, we don't know necessarily what our coverage of the finale is going to look like in the immediacy of it. That's a busy week for the podcast specifically. And by podcast, I mean I have a very busy week that week because it's Eurovision week. So I will be doing a lot of Eurovision coverage. So,
and it's your birthday week.
And it's my birthday. A couple days after. But so as soon as we can watch the finale and understand what they're saying fully, and by we I mean as soon as David can understand fully what they are saying, and Lana. I won't make it just David. Like I said, I love you, David.
Very much.
As soon as we all know what they're saying, we will be back to talk about the finale. But I do want to say, and I already know what both of your answers are going to be. Who would you like to win this season of Solo Last Night?
Serena for the
draft.
For the draft.
For the draft.
Oh, okay.
C-Pher for my heart.
Yes.
Sure.
I'll say C-Pher for the draft and for my heart.
Exactly.
Fair enough. I will say Georgie for the draft.
Absolutely.
C-Pher makes the most sense, and I would be thrilled.
Absolutely.
Serena, I would also be thrilled because I think she's done a very, very good job. My heart will always be with Madison.
Yeah.
And so that's just, that's where it's been since episode 1. That's where it's going to continue to be. Maybe I'll get lucky 2 seasons in a row and my favorite will win. But I honestly think based on the pack, and I know the finale is not based on the package from the season, I would like to see Madison win. I do think Madison would be a deserving winner from this season. I think it's C-Pher's to lose. And she even acknowledged that in her ending, which I'm interested to go back and see her previous finale performance and why she didn't win. I'm interested to see what that, because she alluded to that a little bit. But I think based on package, I mean, C-Pher brought some of the best looks. When we do our end of year list, C-Pher's probably going to be on it like 3 or 4 times. Let's be honest. There is a lot of drag, so we'll see. Maybe at least once. Maybe at least once. But it's C-Pher's to lose, and I would be so happy for C-Pher. But personally, I think I want Madison to win.
C-Pher has been my pick since preseason when David stole her from me. So that's where my heart is. That's where my head is. That's where I
not your draft, but everything else.
Even over my draft, I would happily lose this draft for C-Pher because that's who I wanted.
Agreed.
That's who just had me from the promo picture. I was like, who is this girl? I love her.
And
she's never let me down.
She's such my queen too. Like I feel myself so much in C-Pher, and her talking about like growing up with video games and like that being her thing. I'm like, I relate to her so much also that like the C-Pher and Madison are the two that I've connected with the most this season by far. That would be my top 2. And for me, I'd be fine either way, truly.
Yeah.
But speaking of draft, let's talk about how I'm losing this one and how close it is, because it is very close.
That was Blindside. I'm pulling it
I
up.
have it up.
Oh,
Do
okay.
not worry. I'm going to take care of it today because I thought you would have taken care of it because you tend to typically do that.
I have it.
But today, I will be discussing.
You're David today.
I am David today. I had to talk about the critiques. I had to talk about the draft. I am David today. Slightly more bearded, though. I am losing currently. It's a much smaller margin than last season for Lamas, I will say that. I'm at 35 points. Tony is currently sitting at 37.5. David is currently sitting in second place with 42 points. And Lana, you're currently leading, but only with 44.5 points.
Oh.
So if Sirena or C-Pher wins the season, it means that y'all win.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Actually, because the winner gets what, 10 points?
I do 5 points for winner and 3 points for second place. So
you're really crushing all of my dreams right now, aren't you, David?
Yeah.
You're really crushing all of my dreams right now. Because if it was 10, there is a universe where I could still win by half a point.
Well, it's not.
But
5 is fine.
I'm aware.
If C-Pher wins and Serena is second place, Lana still wins.
Lana still wins.
That's
by
crazy.
half a point.
That's crazy. All right, Serena second place, so I can still win. I would love that.
The closest draft we've ever had.
I love that.
And I do love that. But
we did have a tie on UK versus the world this year.
Yeah, we did.
That's true.
We did have a tie.
Well, no, we broke that tie, remember?
Oh, we did, yes.
We did.
Oh, yeah, we forgot. We broke the tie. Never mind. But it was close.
Oh, wait, if we're doing points on how many episodes we've been on, that changes things.
Wait a
it
minute.
doesn't. Everyone's been on for 12. We each get 12 points. Great. I'm still losing. Thanks.
Yeah, you're losing worse now.
Is it episodes where we've been here, we haven't been here? And
I've not missed one yet.
You've not missed one this season, huh?
I change very, 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 very soon.
It's about to change right now. Because look over here counts. Look over here counts.
Wow, David. Anyway, we're going to get out of here because breaking the fourth wall, Lana and I have to go film another video and David's going to sleep. So thank you so much for joining us for our episode recap of episode 6 of Solo Las Mas. Let us know all of your thoughts and opinions on the episode, the top 4, icon, mother, diva, Marisol, oh, mi amor letal, and everything in between on this season. Let us know who you want to win also. And we know you will, and we greatly appreciate all of you very much. Make sure to subscribe if you've not already on the way out, like and share. Make sure to check out our description where you can find all 3 of our other YouTube links, our audio podcast links, our membership channel links, our social media links at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, our personal social media links, and the link to go get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug down there as well. With that being said, this episode recap went much longer than we anticipated. Cheers!
Yes.
Welcome to the Cup,
Ooh.
the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where Lana and Logan bring conversation so vast. They're the hosts of the Cup, the podcast so divine. With sass and style, they're gonna shine. Lana's the evil